Hello again. So, today we're going to be reviewing my game from Fabian, who is rated 250. Move it into... no spoilers. No spoilers. Alright, now I get the evaluation bar. Alright, so, playing white again, and I started with a king's pawn opening. I usually will switch between kings and queen pawn opening. I want to learn how to do the English and the Dutch and stuff like that, and do some more opening, branch out. He started with this move, so I decided to take the full second, pretty principled. So he develops a knight, which attacks my pawn. I considered booting him immediately, but if I were to boot him now, then he still gets to the center, and he still gets here, and there's not much that I can do about it. So probably the entire point of this move was just to pave the way for this knight. So I develop and I protect the pawn, because I wanted to boot the knight, but I didn't want him to come back. I took the free pawn before he, caused problems. He sacks the knight immediately, and I didn't want to throw off I didn't want to mess up my pawn structure, so I decided to take with the knight. Aggressive, I guess. So I moved my queen so I could create a battery. I could take, and then if he took, then I would take again. I also wanted to castle queenside, which was, when you're making a move, you probably want to try to make a move for multiple reasons if you can. So if there's a move that does 3 different things, that's probably the move that you should play. Unless the 3 different things makes you lose 3 different ways, then don't play that move. So he changed his mind. He says, okay, I don't want a bishop trade. So because I had a battery going on here, may as well take. I've got a completely winning position right now. So he attacks the knight, says, get out of my territory. The queen is trapped. The queen is trapped. She has nowhere to go. Oh, that's not true. Still had this move. I didn't consider this move. I mean, probably should have played this move. It would have probably saved you. Because I wouldn't have I'd have to move the bishop back somehow. Probably here. So he didn't have to give up his queen. But he just gives it up for absolutely nothing. So I take. Okay, so I guess the entire point of bringing the knight out was so at a later point he could still castle. I don't know. Probably should have taken. Well, if he had taken the king, then I would have gone here with check, and then he would still move back. So, well, I mean, I didn't have this at any point, so long as the bishop was still defending. So I castle. I wanted to get my rook into the game, get my king out of the way. Okay, so he develops his bishop, and I said, okay, this is your only developed piece. I'm just going to take that from you, destroy your pawn structure, make it look ugly as hell. Throw out another pawn, get ready to develop my knights, get the bishop, get my pieces going. Alright, so he develops his knight. I develop my bishop. He sacks his knight. So I mean, I guess I got nothing to be proud about, because they're just throwing me pieces. So pushes the pawn. I am currently threatening mate here. Opponent misses it entirely. Okay, it's not mate. I lied because he's got this square. My bad. Now it's mate. So, same thing. So, made quick work of this guy. So, let's look at the game review. So, I could have played better, apparently. Only at 89.2% accuracy. I'm curious what I missed. It didn't like it, wanted me to boot the knight immediately. Why did you want me to boot the knight immediately? I wasn't expecting that. I mean, you're assuming that Fabian would do that at all. Okay, what? Okay, hang on. Maybe I overlooked something. So if I did this and he did this, and then I asked him to move, oh, he has no places to move, so he would have to sack it for this anyway. So, because he can't allow me to take, because if he takes back, then I go, okay, so yeah. So I probably should have been more aggressive there. So, should have done that. So retry. I didn't do that. I did this instead, because I didn't want him to get this square at all. Because if I did that and he did this, and then I guess there's that. There's not that though. So that's never something that I should have been concerned about. I guess I'm seeing ghosts. 2 pawns in the center. Wanted me to boot the knight anyway. Wanted me to take with the pawn, huh? I'm not even playing that good, but it gets the job done, I guess. I'm gonna move the knight here. Yeah. Nothing to be said there. Castling was the best move. What did you want me to do instead? What about this? What? You want me to do the move that... That's an excellent move, but it's not the best move. The best move was what? Yeah, I'm just remembering Gotham Chess, who does streams, and like he'll occasionally say, oh, that looks like a professional move, when they just like step the king into the center. And sure, I should have played the professional move and just like, whatever. Okay, so next, I just took simplified. Really wanted me to just move the king out of the way. I don't see what the point of this is at all. For no reason do I understand why this move would matter in this position. Because there's no dark squared bishop that can remotely attack him. This is the only pawn that's like hanging. I don't know, but sometimes when you have like a completely winning position, it doesn't specifically matter. Wanted me to boot the knight. I didn't want to boot the knight because I didn't want to close off the bishop. Sacks the knight, takes it, takes back, and that's a wrap. Alright, so that's it for this video. If you enjoyed this game, feel free to drop me a like, and wow, I need to get better at this. Please like and subscribe. I'm out.